All right, well, I'm in the middle of a snowstorm, as you can see, and this is my 2024 Tesla Model 3 Long Range All-Wheel Drive. And in today's video, I want to go over kind of like your first snowfall, winter storm if you get into an EV. And there's some things that you actually have to be careful about. And what I'm going to talk about in this video is the regenerative braking. I'm also going to touch on the slip start option that you have that you can turn on, and just overall how it performs in the winter. And I do have all season tires on right now, so there's no winters on this, so this should be interesting to see how it's going to perform and kind of see how it is in deep snow. So let's jump right into it. And also, if you guys are new to the channel, or if you haven't stopped by my channel before, my name is Jason, and I do kind of a ownership overview of my Tesla Model 3 here, and I also do car reviews on various different models, makes, and all of that. So if you do love Tesla content or car reviews in general, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. All right, so I was actually kind of scared to get out of my driveway, or my garage actually, but this car handled it like a champ. And even though I put it in slip start, I don't think I really needed to, but I just did it for the sake of it. But this car, even on all season tires, handles insanely good. I don't know why I was like kind of worried to take it out in a snowstorm. If you've watched my previous Tesla videos, you know that this is like my real winter with this car, because I got it last March, and when I got the car there was literally no snow at all. And this is really my first winter, my first snowstorm with this car, to kind of see how it performs. And honestly, it's doing a very, very good job. Like, it plows through everything. Like, I'm not worried to take this car anywhere now. Now, granted, with winter tires, I think this thing is just unstoppable, but even with all season tires, driving carefully, it still goes through everything. As you can see on the road, this stuff is fully packed and it's pretty deep in some spots, and this thing handles extremely well. I'm gonna go off into like a deserted road, like a section where there's no traffic at all, so I can kind of show you everything and what this car can do and is capable of in the winter. Okay, so about the regenerative braking on this, I didn't really feel it like today because it's such deep snow here, but when it's freshly snowing and the roads are not as packed, you do have to get used to that, because when I was first driving this with a little bit of snow, when it was kind of like wet, slippery outside, and the regenerative braking kicks in, this car does slip. Now, I don't know if it's just because of all season tires or even in winters it's gonna slip, but you do have to be cautious about that. So let's say you're going like 60 kilometers an hour and you just let off the accelerator all of a sudden, the car is obviously gonna kick in with the regenerative braking and slow it down dramatically, and that may cause some slippage. So if you're not used to an EV, not just a Tesla, but an EV in general, having regenerative braking, you might want to get used to that, because it is scary at first, but once you do get used to it, it's not an issue, because you learn to adapt how to slow down rather than just letting off the accelerator all of a sudden. And I'm going to show you here shortly on this road, kind of to show you how the regenerative braking performs, and also the slip start option that this has. And I think that's a very key thing to have, especially in a winter storm like this. Like, I would say to someone that's buying a brand new EV vehicle, a full EV, don't just let off the accelerator all of a sudden, because you are going to have some sort of slippage and it could be dangerous depending on the situation. My suggestion would be to ease off the accelerator and slowly slow the car down. When you're in a gas car, you let off the accelerator, there's no regen, right? So until you press the brakes, and then you can have some slippage, but the car is different than obviously a gas car, so you got to be careful about that, because it can catch you off guard. All right, let's jump in the car and I'm gonna show you and kind of drive around this area, show you how easy it is to drive a full EV vehicle, and that too on all season tires. So let's jump in, because it is freezing outside. What I was talking about for the slip start, so you're literally just gonna go into your car icon here, go under dynamics, and it's right here, slip start. So this is to help kind of if you're in deep snow, mud, or anything like that. What it essentially does is partially turn off the traction control, not completely. And what I mean by that is it lets the wheel spin a little bit more frequently than if it was off. So I'm gonna go around the road on the outside here and kind of show you what I mean by regenerative braking. It's gonna be hard to tell on video, but when you do kind of sit in an EV vehicle with regen braking, you'll know what I'm talking about with the slippage. On my way here, I actually didn't notice much or at all. I don't know, because maybe there's a ton of deep snow, I didn't notice, but yeah, there is some sort of slippage when the regen does kick in. So let's get going. Right now, I have slip start turned off, and as you saw, I'm in deep snow pretty much, and the car isn't struggling, to be honest. It's actually doing fairly well. Even if I like punch the accelerator a little bit, it's fine. So let me just circle around in the parking lot for a second and kind of show you the feel of the regenerative braking, or kind of show you how it reacts. So it's so hard to tell where the curb is because the snow is super high. But as you can see right now, okay, I'm gonna stop here. When I do punch the accelerator, obviously there's gonna be some slippage, and I'm assuming even if I had winters, it's gonna be the same thing. So I'm gonna punch it, and as you can see, the traction control light's coming on, but it goes away, and the car does a very good job at continuing to go, and that's without having slip start on, which is pretty neat. Let's see, where am I gonna go? I think I might, now the car is tripping out for no reason, thinking I want to be running over something, but I think it's just because of the deep snow. Let's get out of here, and let me actually show you where I entered from, so you have an idea of how it is when I got in, how deep the snow is. We're gonna go right, and I'm gonna show you how this is. Hopefully I don't get stuck here, because that will be embarrassing. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right here. I don't know if you can see my tracks coming in, but look at how deep that snow is. And this car performed very well. It struggled right there just to get going, but it is going. So as I move down here, you can kind of see over there where the snowplow kind of plowed the whole street, but obviously they did not plow the parking lot here. So there's a ton of snow stuck right there. Just for my sake, I am gonna just turn on the slip start. So as you can see, slip start is enabled. And now I should be able to get through this very easily. Make sure there is no traffic, and obviously when you are going through deep snow, there you go, it just went through it like no tomorrow. So now I can just turn this off because I'm pretty comfortable with the car driving like this. All right, just for the heck of it, I am gonna go into dynamics and put it in standard, so this gives me a little bit more throttle response. It's a little bit quicker, so let's see how it does. So obviously it's gonna slip because of how quickly everything goes, but it picks up pretty nicely. I just love how this thing is in the winter. All right, so I'm gonna put it back into chill, and I'm gonna enter that same parking lot, but this time I'm gonna show you entering it, because last time I entered it, as I was saying, the car did struggle to get in, to be honest, just because of how much snow there is. And let's see if it does it now. I'm just gonna put on the slip start just in case, and let's go. So you can see there's a ton of snow right here. I want to go into the fresh snow. So the car is struggling right now. As you can see, traction control, but come on, how are you gonna stop an all-wheel drive Model 3 to go through the snow? This thing's a beast in the winter. And again, these are all season tires, not even winter tires. So imagine what it can do with winters. I'm just blown away, to be honest. And just to give you a perspective of how much snow there is, as you can see, it's literally up to the car right there. So that's how much snow there is today, and what this car is going through and handling like a champ. All right, I'm gonna come around this way because there is a little bit more of a kind of like a straightaway, so I can kind of show you, hopefully, actually let's go straight down this way, because then I can just show you the regenerative braking if it does happen. So if I'm going, let's say, at decent speed, there's no regenerative braking right now. As you can see, there's no green bar, so there's no regen right now happening, and the car's not applying the brakes. It's just slowing down because of the snow or just the momentum. But if I'm going a little bit slower, it does have the regen. So I want to just reverse back and show you. So that was kind of interesting to see the regen not kick in when you're going, even like when I was going, what, like 35, 36, 37 kilometers, and the regen didn't kick in. So let's see if I go a little bit slower, will the regen kick in? So let's see if I go like 19. So now there's a little bit of regen right there, as you can see. But if you're going quicker than that, there's no regen. So if you're expecting regen to kick in, like right now, there's a little bit. Now it just stopped completely, and the snow is just slowing the car down. So yeah, that I was not expecting. I didn't know that these cars can do that without the regen. Obviously, when the car is cold, there's no regen. It applies the actual brakes of the car, but right now it didn't have regen and it didn't apply the brakes of the car. So that's pretty interesting to see. That was actually my first time noticing that on the vehicle. So I'm just gonna go straight here and kind of see if the regen kicks in. And I don't know if that might be so yeah, the regen is there, but now it just went away. So I don't know if maybe that was the car slipping that's why the regen goes away and it doesn't apply the actual brakes of the car. That I'm very curious about. So yeah, I mean, if you're in deep snow and you're going fast, I don't think the regen is gonna work. Clearly you saw it here. It didn't kick in. Let me show you the first area that I went through, like right there. As you can see, that's very deep snow. So I'm curious to know if maybe the car was just slipping. At first it kicked in with regen, but then once that was happening, the car slipped and thought it was just going. I'm gonna try it again just to go down here. So I'm going 30 or so, and yeah, it kicks in at first and then it just disappears. The funny thing is, it's so hard to tell if the car is slipping in this weather because of how much snow there is on the ground. So I want to go back the same way, but this time I want to turn on the slip start and kind of see how it takes off at first. Oh, so smooth. At first, like when I do it without, so you got the regen braking here, and then it just goes away. But yeah, when I did this little run here on the side of the building here, without the slip start, you could tell the car is struggling to kind of take off and get going. With this, no struggle at all. And I'm assuming because the wheels have a little bit more spin and play, that it just gets the momentum going. But that's a very good feature to have, especially in deep snow. All right, guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed me kind of plowing through this deep snow on all season tires in this winter storm. Let me know what else you want to see in the winter storm, or if there is another storm. I'd love to take the car out and kind of test it. But yeah, if you're looking to get an EV and a Tesla in particular, you are going to be super happy with it because these cars can do anything in the snow, as you saw in the video. And the only thing that you have to kind of be careful about and get used to is the regen braking. I want to leave the video there, and I'll see you guys in the next video.